into it like this. Like, okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the studio spitting bars out here.
Yeah. All right. Is everything live? Everything crisp?
Everything good. Everything good.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. Let's sound it off, man. Episode 56. MIC podcast, man. Community content. You get it all here, bro. And the futon, man, has been blessed with another vibe, bro. Another good dude in the building, my man, Zach Alden-Brown,
What's
man.
up, man? Thanks
Thank
for
you
having me,
for
bro.
joining us, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we're chilling,
I'm super
bro.
excited, bro. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Dope. No. This is going to be dope.
When Mike asked me to be on here, man, I was like, damn, this is my second podcast. I feel like I'm somebody big or something.
Hey,
like, this is
listen, man. We're here to chill. We're here to vibe. Get to know you, man. It's gonna be a dope conversation. You know, we got the Crown Royal on deck
with the best host.
Why? Hey, man, we chilling, bro. We chilling, man. Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely,
man. But I mean, like, I just kind of want to, like, dive right in and, like, I definitely let the people know, like, who you are, and then, like, get into, like, what you do now, and just, like, where, you see yourself going in the future for sure. But I definitely want to scale it back. So, like, how was life? So, like, no. So, first off, where are you from?
I'm from Texas originally.
Okay.
Yeah, a little small. It's like a small little town called Tomball, Texas, right outside of Houston.
Okay, word.
So I grew up in Houston, and then I kind of moved around a lot. So I moved to Colorado when I was like 7.
Okay.
Came back when I was 12 to Texas, back to Houston, and then senior year of high school, my dad's job was like, hey, you gotta, up and move. So we left and we came here, and it was like the end of the world for me at the time because I was just like. I was with a girl.
Where were you living at the time when you
like outside of Houston?
Okay,
yeah, a little bit outside of Houston.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So growing up there, just leaving everything behind my senior year of high school, it was a lot, for a kid my age. So I was like rebellious, I was like
senior year of high school too. It's like you've met all those friends up to that point, then you're about to make that jump to college, and
I wasn't even the best student either. What's crazy? That's what's crazy is I think I told Mike this when we started talking. When I moved from Texas to Pennsylvania, they lost all my transcripts. But that was a good thing.
The schools did,
the school did. Like the electronic transfer somehow got messed up. They lost all my transcripts.
What the fuck?
So I had like a 2.8 GPA back in Texas, which was bad. I was a bad student. They started me off with a 4.0 my senior year.
Let's do it.
So I was like, I will take it.
That's what I was saying. We're not gonna ask no questions with that. What part of Colorado you live in?
It was a small town. A lot of small towns.
Yeah, facts.
A small town called Dolores, Colorado.
Dolores.
It's right outside of like Durango, Telluride. It's on the west side of Colorado near the Four Corners area.
Like I lived in Colorado for like a year. Like I spent time in Glendale. It's
Glendale,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like 10, 15 minutes from Denver type shit. But how was growing up in Houston? Like
it was.
Did you like it?
It's a different culture, man.
Yeah.
I did. I loved it a lot. I tried going back after college, but Pennsylvania was home for me.
For real.
So Texas will always be home, but Pennsylvania's really felt like home with the people I've met and the accomplishments that I made here. Houston's a little bit of a negative influence. There's a lot of, growing up there, there's just too much history to where I couldn't go back, like live there again. I go visit sometimes, and a lot of my family lives in Austin, Texas now, so I'll go back to Austin and see them, but Pennsylvania is where I'm at, man. This is where I'm gonna be. So
I feel you, man. Yeah. I mean, I kind of share similar thoughts as far as like Pittsburgh goes, bro. Like I'm from Maryland originally.
Oh, okay.
So it's like like I moved out here, bro. Like Pittsburgh, like it's just this city just open, like just welcomed me with just such open arms.
Yeah,
and, like, it's just been a vibe.
It's such a good vibe here, man.
It's dope, man. Yeah.
When I moved here, the people were like in Texas. There's a lot of Southern hospitality. So
you
get a lot of fake kindness where people are like.
So Southern hospitality is fake. I thought that shit was genuine.
A lot of the times it is genuine. Don't get me wrong. Like my mom's like the most genuinely nice human being on the planet, and she'll be like, she'll treat you like she's your mom the minute that she meets you.
Facts, right?
But there's a lot of people there that just still put on that smile, when it's not necessary.
You fucking just pulled the knife out.
Yeah. And so when I moved here, it was so different. People were very black and white in the sense that they were like, either I like you or I fucking hate you.
I like that though.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
It was that Pittsburgh mentality.
Bro,
it's like I could fucking love the shit out of you, or I can just not like you at all, and you'll know.
That's what I'm saying. There's no gray area. There's no like, what are these person's intentions? Like they let you know up front, which I appreciate.
And I do too. I'm a very upfront guy. That's very much my personality, which sometimes collided when I lived back in Texas because it's almost like when I moved to Pittsburgh, I felt at home because that's how I was. But in the sense that like people were expecting me to be like them, the Texas Southern hospitality kind of thing. But I just grew up with the mentality that you know, if you're real and you're honest and you're a good person, I like you. And if you're not, then I don't fuck with you.
No, bro.
You know what I mean?
Like,
that's I still live by that code
Yeah.
today. You know, I'm very much of a good reader of people, and so when I walk in a room and I can tell somebody's got negative energy, I don't even give them the time of day.
Right.
You know, because it's just not worth it. And I think that's what Pittsburgh is too. You know, people are like just really tight connected.
They're in tune.
Yeah, they're in tune.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm like, bro, like I'm definitely with you on that, man. Like it's definitely all about energies for me. Like
me too.
You know, it's like it's just again, man, real black and white, no gray. Like just let me know who I'm dealing with, man.
Yep.
So
100%.
were you always interested in photography, like as a kid? Like was that like one of your like main creative outlets?
Yeah, man, I was always a creative, for sure, but photography really came to light in college. So back to like moving here, starting off
Okay,
that 4.0, I got accepted
for sure.
into Penn State.
Okay, word, shout to the lines. Lines over here.
Penn
We are.
State.
What's up?
It was a good W the other night. We shouldn't have won.
Word.
But we did.
yeah, got out of there.
Yeah, I'll take it. My roommate, actually wasn't even my roommate at the time, but one of my friends was big into photography.
Okay.
And he kind of got me into it, and so I bought a camera on eBay and got it delivered, and I started shooting, and I fell in love with it right away. And then my cousin back in Houston, like he's real into producing, making music and stuff. So when I would go home for the summers and back to Houston, I'd start making music videos, doing different things like that, and just learning as I went. I didn't really have like a coach or anything like that. And I just fell in love with the art, you know. But I never really saw it to be profitable until later down the road. So,
okay, word.
Yeah.
And you moved to Pittsburgh after college?
No, I moved to Pittsburgh my senior year, like junior going into senior year of high school.
Okay, got you.
And then I went to Penn State. Just like literally didn't even visit the campus or anything.
Bro,
and,
say I maybe did it like nah. Actually, I don't think I visited it.
Yeah,
I don't think I visited. Like I just got in somehow.
Well, and you know, I met a really good group of guys when I moved to Pittsburgh.
Dope, okay.
And good friends, people that just kind of brought me in as their own into a crew that I really respect to this day. We're all still really close friends. You know, I was just with them the other night. And
how was the initial trend? I mean, because you know, obviously senior year of high school was like, you know, pretty pivotal time. So like, how was like that like initial like, you know, transition for you? Like, you know, when you probably moved out here.
It was tough on me, man. I really I didn't know how to handle it at first, but you know, I'm real into music now, and I always have been. And the fact that Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa were from here, that gave me a little bit of hope. I was like, I'm gonna go check out. I told my mom, I said, if we move to Pittsburgh, I got to go see Blue Side Park. I got to go do all these things first because it'll bring me to a good place. And so we did that, and you know, it didn't take long. I think it was my first day of school that I was like, I belong here.
That's dope.
So there was not really. I think the days leading up to it were rough, but once I got here, it was all good. And I was just a kid, you know, 17 years old, and so the idea of leaving everything behind felt like the end of the world to me because I was in this small little bubble that was this big, but I didn't see the big picture.
Facts.
You know? So, but yeah, no, I really love it here, man.
Yeah,
I have no plans of going anywhere anytime soon. So
no, bro. And listen, man, we happy to have you anchored here, man. So like, just even as a child, because I mean, like you said, like you got the camera later on, but like, were you interested in anything else creatively, or was just like that the main thing that like you picked up on like kind of later down the line?
I was into the creative in a lot of things. Like I still paint and draw and do a lot of stuff. But I loved photography. I couldn't breathe without it. And that's how you know you have a passion for something. Is whenever you can't do anything without, like anywhere I went, anything I did, I always thought about how can I make this into like a movie.
Yeah.
You know? So I was just like always so captured by photography and videos and things of that nature, and that's really what you know, made me realize like I got to stop working a job and doing things that I don't really love. You know, I gotta risk it all because I'm young and I need to try it out. And so I did, and it worked out. And if you want, I can even go on a little bit about what I do.
No,
now,
for sure, yeah, no, we can not because like we're definitely gonna get to that. Like again, like I just want people to get the full scope. So like you got your first camera. What, like, did you just instantly kind of like know how to navigate that? Or like, was it just like
it came very natural to me? Like it wasn't.
Real? Okay.
Yeah, it's like learning a new language, but I picked it up really quickly.
Because you said your college roommate was into photography. Or
yeah. So he ended up being my college roommate for a few more years after that. We had a falling out, so we don't talk anymore. But he was real into it, and I just saw his work, and I was like, man, this is cool. Like I want to try it out. It sparked my interest. I never really knew about it before. And so, you know, when you stay up till 2, 3 in the morning researching stuff, and you're like, this is a passion. Like, this is something I really love to do. So it was a hobby for a long time. I I never thought I could monetize it. You know, I thought like, this is just something I really enjoy, like somebody playing basketball or somebody, you know, painting or whatever. Like I was like, this is my hobby. This is my thing. This is
Would
what
you
I
first
love.
start off like taking pictures of, or just like pretty much anything?
People, landscapes,
Okay.
and when I really started to like get excited is whenever I would shoot architecture and like and angles of like buildings and homes and stuff like that. And that was just something that like was like interesting to me, and I really liked it. And then, you know, later down the road, I was like, maybe there's a need for this. You know, maybe this isn't just a hobby. Maybe that I can make money doing this. And so that's when I started to think about real estate photography.
Okay.
And you know, I was working a job at the time, sales job, and I made a lot of money doing it, but I was miserable.
For sure.
Miserable. And I just met my girl. Well, we didn't just meet. We just started dating at the time, and it was weird. I asked her. I said, "Should I?" Because I was too scared to like go for it myself. Like I needed somebody to reassure me, because all my family was like, "Don't do it. You have a good job. You're doing well. Blah blah blah."
That's a tough bubble to like, you know, kind of be in, right?
And she didn't really know me like that, so she's like, "Yeah, just do it. Why not?" She didn't know what I was making and all that. She's just like, "Go for it." And so that's all I needed to hear. And so I went in and I quit. And I just went to a Starbucks that morning after I quit, and I started grinding on my business website and building the entire thing. And I said, I'm gonna be all in on this, like sink or swim. Like I'm either gonna make it or I'm not, and I'm gonna do absolutely everything in my power.
We're gonna figure out how to make it shake from there. You know, either way it goes. So like, what was it like in the days leading up to like the time when like you're like, hey guys, I'm fucking out of here.
Well,
like, what was that?
Yeah,
like?
let me back up a little bit. Yeah. So after I graduated college, I got a degree in criminal justice.
Okay, got you.
A lot of people that know me would be like, "That's funny," because they know my personality.
Yeah,
but
right.
I really enjoyed that. I actually still enjoy like the whole psychological side of criminology and all that stuff. So I did that, and I was a juvenile corrections officer for a few years.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Wait, how was that? Like, what the fuck?
Surprisingly, I was really great at my job.
Oh, for real?
But I was I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that went on in there. You know, there's a lot of the justice system as a whole is very broken, and so
really,
yeah, no shit, right? No shit. And so I quickly first initially going in there, I was like, I can change things.
Yeah.
But dude, when you have the government over you, you have all these people that
that's
are
a tough fight,
making your decisions for you. It's you can't do it alone.
It's like fighting Thanos with like a toothpick. It's like,
that's right. Yeah. So after that, I ended up starting, like, while I was still working that job towards the end of my career there, I started looking into other things that I can make more money doing, because I was making nothing like doing this, but I loved it, so I just kept doing it.
I feel you.
I would drive an hour to work every day. That's how much I was passionate about it, and helping these kids, man, like that I did it for them. I didn't do it for anybody.
I was gonna say, man, like, do you feel like that experience, like, did you take anything away? Because I mean, like, I know, like that, that just setting is real volatile. You know what I mean? Like,
and I worked in a very violent unit.
Yeah,
too.
like if you don't have like the temperament, you know what I mean, or just like
I'm very patient, calm.
Yeah,
you know,
you gotta be like,
and I never wanted to cross any lines. You know, I saw a lot of people in that world in my position cross the line. You know, and put their hands on kids, do things that they're not supposed to do. But I never ever was like, I never want to cross the line. I'll do what I need to do, but I'm gonna make sure that when these kids leave here, that they appreciate me and how strict I was, because I was very hard on them.
I feel you.
I didn't want them to think I was their friend. You know, I wanted them to look up to me and understand that, like, hey, there's more to life than what you're living. Because a lot of them are from bad neighborhoods, bad areas. They didn't have anything to look forward to, so a lot of them wanted to stay in there because it was three meals a day, a place to sleep.
That's crazy. Like, that's the reality. It's like, yo, they're literally just like, this place meets my basic needs.
Yep.
So I'm going to stay here.
And they have friends around them, you know, because like there's 12 kids to a unit, so they had people with them, and they started to make friends, and so and they were safe. You know, nobody was going to shoot at them or hurt them or beat them up without somebody getting in between them. So
real shit.
They felt, a lot of them felt safer there. You know what I mean? So
I was about to say, like, did you like end up making out without, like, you know, too many confrontations with the, you know, with the kids? Or like,
there was a lot.
Yeah.
But it was only when needed. You know, like I never initiated or made anybody do anything. You know, some of those kids, and I worked in a special needs unit, so a lot of the kids had different minor mental disabilities to where, you know, maybe it was autism or something like that, where they didn't know how to control their emotions. So they would have these like episodes where they would freak out, and sometimes you just got to hold them there and make sure that they're good until they can calm down. You know, that's dope. That is part of the job. Man. Like, there's no way you're going to go into that job and not get into some type of physical situation with them. It's really hard not to, because they also don't really respect people that are too calm with them. Like,
yeah,
you
right.
kind of have to be on their level in a way because they grew up differently.
Facts,
you know?
yeah.
And growing up in Houston, I knew how to be on that level.
Yeah. Let's talk about that shit. Let's go. Now, so yeah, I mean, like that experience, like just again, man, like any takeaways that like you even brought into just like kind of
life and
pushing forward and like what you do today.
It made everything in life was easier after that job. Like,
damn,
because that job was very stressful. Like, I would go home and not sleep, and it was stressful, man. There was not a day that didn't go by where I didn't come home after, and I was working 16-hour shifts, by the way, where I wasn't like stressed out, but I kept reminding myself, I'm doing this for them, doing this for them, you know? And then one day I had to think about myself, you know? And what I took away from it is that, yeah, like everything in life seemed a lot less stressful. So any job, I knew when I left there, I was like, anything after this, I can do it.
Gonna be a cakewalk.
It's gonna be a cakewalk.
Right.
And prior to that job, I would have never thought that, you know? So that job did more for me than it, you know, just the money I made from it.
No, absolutely, man. Like, you know, it's just, I do know, because like as someone that's like, you know, worked the myriad of like, you know, different jobs. Like I try to pull some of them are just like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, you know, you can't pull much.
Huge
can't pull much from it. You know, but like it's just like, you know, if you can, you know, pull just something positive, like, you know, just anything, man, like no matter how small, and take it with you into like the next stage, the next level.
And I'm a very glass half full kind of guy.
I feel that,
like that is very much I'm very optimistic, and I have always thought like, you know, there's always a positive in every situation, even the worst ones. You know, and maybe sometimes I'm too optimistic, but I think that's got me to where I am today.
I'm sure, no, bro. Like I'm sure it's helped you in spades, bro. So how long were you at the sales job?
Not long, like less than a year.
Okay,
And I ended up being the top salesperson in that office.
Come on, man.
Right off the bat. And I actually learning a lot of the psychological stuff helped me in that job. So I was like, I'm not going to call everybody on this lead list. I'm going to call just the housewives that are at home from this time to this time that are by themselves with maybe a couple kids, and they'll answer the phone. The husband's not going to answer the phone. So I started pulling up the ladies, and I started calling them only. I cross off all the guys right away.
Wow.
Not that like I'm sexist and I think women aren't working.
No, facts.
But
it's
like statistically, I was using
using
statistics to my advantage, and I was making hella money doing that, man.
That's
I was
crazy.
making a lot of money in sales, and it was fun at first, and I really, but what I quickly realized is, why am I doing this for somebody else when I could be making money for myself?
Absolutely.
You
so
know?
like when you had the conversation with your girl, she said go for it. Was it like immediate, like, all right, I'm putting my two weeks in today?
I didn't even put 2 weeks in, man.
Yo, just go.
I took my keys to the office.
Let's go.
I took my keys to the office. I set them on the desk.
Fucking out.
I set on the desk. I set the keys on the desk, and I said, I'm out of here. I'll see you later.
That's crazy,
and
man.
It
like,
felt so. It felt
bro.
so good, man.
Yeah.
So nerve wracking before it, but it felt so good when it happened.
That just takes. So I mean, like, you know, just like what were the emotions, man?
I
Like,
remember getting in the car after that, sitting there, and I was wearing a tie because I was at work.
Yeah.
I took it off, and I was like, I'm never wearing a fucking suit again, bro.
It's hard. Yeah, man.
It's how
for
I
real.
dress.
Yeah, right.
And I'm a professional, bro.
Yeah,
and
real
I
shit.
I was like, I'm never going to do this again for anybody else. I'll never work another day in my life for another human being. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And anybody that I employ will never feel like less than me. I'm going to always make sure that people feel like I'm working for them, not the other way around.
Damn, no, that's real. I mean, like, I feel like, you know, any good boss is, you know, really following that mantra, you feel me? So you're in the Starbucks, man, like you're coming up, you're like, you know what I mean? Like you're doing your, pretty much like, you know, starting the business, like, you know, in that Starbucks. Was exposure like your first business venture, or like, did you, you know, like try other things along the way?
Oh, this is a long story. So
nah, man, get into it,
we'll start
bro.
from the very beginning.
Word.
Growing up as a kid, 12, 13, you know, even like younger, like 8, 9 years old, lemonade stands, snow cone stands, selling basketball cards, doing all types. I was always an entrepreneur at heart, but I didn't even know it. You know, it was like I did all these things, but I didn't realize why. And what I realized after I quit that job was like, I can't breathe, you know, without being an entrepreneur. Like this is my destiny, you know, and anything I can do to make people's lives better on the way, I'm going to do it, you know? So back to the whole corrections thing, like I'm going to go back and do that one day whenever I have the time to do it. And I'm not going to take a fucking dollar because it's going to be by my choice.
That's dope.
But yeah, no, I always did that, you know, little small businesses. You know, I've owned a lot of weird businesses in between. I won't talk about those here on camera.
Yeah, right.
But I was always a salesman.
Yeah.
You know, deep down.
I feel you.
College, selling.
I feel you,
So
bro.
I
Yeah.
just didn't know why I was doing it or why I was so good at it, but I was great at it, and I was like, I need to do this for myself.
You had the bug, just like throughout your life.
And I think a lot of people do. They just don't. They're just too afraid to take the step. I think a lot of people are. This is the best time in 2022, and I would say this, a million times over. This is the best time to be an entrepreneur because 20, 30 years ago, being an entrepreneur was like, oh, so you're homeless, you're sleeping on people's couches.
Literally, bro. It's like,
it was like frowned upon. It was frowned upon, But now being an entrepreneur, like it's embraced, and you're seeing a lot of people on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like they're
everyone is
lives.
trying to monetize. It's like it's content and monetization, just like with everyone. Even if you're a dentist, bro, like it's crazy.
Like we wouldn't even be doing this sitting here 20 years ago because
that's what I'm saying.
You'd have to pay to do it. This
Literally
is different. Content's free now.
Yeah.
So it's just a different world, and I think it's the best time to be a human being, in my opinion. A lot of people might say it the other way, but I think we made a lot of progress in this world, and I think that this is the best time, and this is the only time I think in the world where everybody has the opportunity to create something for themselves.
Bro, I agree with you 1,000%, man. I mean, it's just the internet and social media has just leveled the playing field for everyone. I mean, bro, like you said, something like this, bro, you'd probably have to go through various avenues in really big markets. I'm talking like obviously California, New York, all that shit. Just even, bro, now, man, with your phone, bro, you got Twitch, YouTube, man, Instagram, TikTok. Like you can make, again, bro, there's literally like nurses on their break, like bro, like even during COVID, like there were nurses hitting dances on TikTok, getting
with their mask on,
bro, millions of views
to mask off,
bro. Word up, bro, real shit though. And now she's a dancing nurse on TikTok, bro, like with fucking millions of followers, bro. Like really, anyone can, man. Now that's crazy, but like, I do know that exposure wasn't like the first name that like you came up with for exposure. Like it was real estate.
Yeah, you did your research, man.
Hey, nah, man, that's what we do over here, man. So what led to like the name change and like what is like the kind of like a two-part question? Like what's like your favorite part, the way your business has evolved like from then to now?
So originally it was just myself, and I came up with real estate. It was like a spin on words, like reel people in, because it was REEL, and also real estate.
Right.
So,
yeah, for sure. I got you.
And then like photo reels too.
Yeah.
So it was like a play on words, and people love the name. And I quickly, actually, the first initiative I took for that business is I went and I did a brokerage presentation at a real estate office.
Oh, okay.
So I knew when I was in sales, and I was selling insurance at the time. I knew I was in a group called a B&I group. It was like a little business networking group. And when I quit my job, I was basically supposed to leave that group, but the president of the group said you should stay and advertise your new business here.
That's dope.
And he let me do it for free too. He didn't make me pay for anything.
Damn, that's dope. Shout out to him for that. That's
crazy. And so he gave me the opportunity to talk in front of his whole entire brokerage and pitch myself. And it was a terrible pitch because I was super nervous and I didn't know what I was doing, and I was not even that great at real estate photography at the time. Like the pictures were ass. But I was a salesman. So I was able to get some of those agents to use me. And that's whenever it took off, it was crazy. It was like wildfire. Like this, I would shoot for this real estate agent, and then they would tell 3 more, and then those 3 agents would hire me, and then they would tell 3 more, and it just kept going and going and going. And I was like, this is the first time I've had a really successful business, and I'm gonna go all in on this. Like this is it. This is money, and I'm good at this. And I was getting better at the photography side of things. I was making money doing what I love, and it felt good, And so I did that for a while, and I just was by myself. And then one day, I was on Instagram, and I saw some photos of a competitor of mine, and I was like, man, his photos are incredible. Like, how does he do this? I thought it was the camera. I didn't know what it was, but they were next level photos. And I DM'd a ton of my competitors just asking for advice, and they would all blow me off. Well, Luke, he said, yeah, you want to meet up and talk about it? And I said, sure, let's talk. So we met up at a Get-Go gas station, sat at the little seating area, and we talked about it. And by the end of that hour-long conversation, he was talking about having a partnership with me. Damn. He said, the business side of things. You're good with business. I'm really good at the photos, and I can make you good at that, and you can make me good at the business side. And I think we would be a good team. And so we talked about it for about a year before anything happened, and I was still real estate for about a year and a half. And then one day he called me up and he said, "Hey, you wanna do this thing?" And at this point, like he was already making, you know, 17 grand a month, like in profit. And I was when I first talked to him, I was only making like maybe like 3 or 4 grand. And by the time that year later came, like I was pretty much up there with him.
Damn.
And he was like, let's do this now. You know, you're at that point where you've been in this for a while and you understand the business. He's like, I understand it. Like, let's merge. And so we came up with a name and a logo that was a combination of both of ours, and Exposure is what it was. So.
Damn, like, so like,
yeah.
Did you just like kind of like look at all like the real estate and shit that like you got and you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah. I was like, man, I spent so much money on branding.
Just like all the merch and shit. Nah,
yeah, it was really hard to disconnect from my brand. Really, you know, it felt weird. You know, it was the jump from like earning all this by myself and like really putting in the work to build this brand and being one of the bigger real estate photographers in Pittsburgh by myself. It was hard to walk away from that, but we quickly decided like we can't get emotionally attached. This is business. Yeah, we got to do what's right for both of our pockets. You know? Yeah, for sure. And so we merged. We you know, created an LLC together and we became partners. That's fire. That's where Exposure came from. And you know, now we're the biggest real estate media company in Pittsburgh. That's dope. And like, what's so like just the second half of that question, like, what's been your most favorite way that like the business has evolved? Just like, you know, I think the ability to offer more services has been cool, and then also just to hire people on our team that work for us. Like, it's not like a power trip thing. It's not like I want people working underneath me, but it's nice to like teach people and guide them and make them better photographers themselves, people that are really passionate about this. And you know, that's drastically changed my life, just having responsibility over other people. You know, that's a big responsibility. So I think that's my favorite part, is just having a team, you know, working with others and having more minds to come up with ideas and ways to grow the business. And you know, I never would have thought I would get to this point. Like, I never imagined when I first quit that job and set the keys on the desk that I would be where I'm at right now. Yeah, it's really wild. You know? So, I don't know, man. It's a beautiful thing. Nah, bro, that shit is dope. I mean, bro, this story is compelling. I mean, like, we went several ways. You know what I mean? Like, my life is like really complicated. Bro, I love it, a lot of turns, but it's worked out. Bro, like, the best stories are for real. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I know you said, like, you know, early on when you got your camera, it was like architecture photos that like, you know, kind of brought out that So I mean, like, what about like why real estate photos? Like, what about them? Just like kind of like, nah, like this is the pocket I like to stay in creatively, but like, what about it does it for you? What do you mean, like, what sparked the idea, or like? Yeah, I mean, just like why that subject matter? Because like, you know, some people are just like, you know, I'm gonna just do like, you know, landscapes because like they're like, you know, beautiful, like, you know, you can get you know, the elements. Some of it is like, you know, people. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, showing like, you know, like life in like a busy city or like a place that people may not get a perspective of, you know, like otherwise than like with the photos. I think what it was, and this is kind of a drawn out story, but I'll tell you it. Go for it. So I was working for Allstate at this time. I was in sales, like I said, and I was driving to lunch, going to Chick-fil-A, get my normal, you know, the number one, you know, extra pickles, mayonnaise. I was like, right before I left for lunch, I was going. Whenever you're in insurance, you have to like appraise kind of like a home's value, and so you go online, you look at the pictures of the houses, and every time I'd go online and see these pictures, like, man, these pictures are terrible. Damn. Like, they're really bad, and I just never thought of anything. And then one day I was driving to Chick-fil-A, and I was like, holy crap. I'm a good photographer. I could take pictures of these houses, and I bet you real estate agents are the main clients. So not only am I going to be monetizing off of this, but I'm going to love doing it because I already know how to shoot it. And I was like, this is a B2B, a business-to-business business, not a business-to-consumer, because wedding photographers, business-to-consumer. Right. You know what I mean? People or portrait photographers, business to consumer. Real estate photography, business to business. Wow. And what happens when you make a sale to a business person? They can write it off. So basically, you're making money and they're writing it off. Damn. So it's a win-win. And I was like, I could do this. I could. It just sparked, and I immediately called my brother, my little brother, Driston. He's in the military now, but he was always my business partner in crime. You know, we always had businesses together. And I told him the idea, and he goes, dude, do it. He's like, give it a few months, think about it, and do it. I did it. 2 days later, I was like out of that office with my keys on the desk, and I was like, I can do this, you know? That is, I mean, bro, I really know, like, you just told me a different pocket of life right there. Like,
business to business, bro. Like, so like that makes a lot of sense. Like, damn. So like, just even from like past the creative standpoint, like you just saw like the not only like do I fuck with this just creatively, like the business, like like is there.
Yeah, it was both sides. I never had a business where I loved it, the idea of it, and I also could make money off of it. It was either I can make money off of it or I love the idea, but never both at the same time. So that was it was like a foolproof plan. Like I was like, I can do this.
Are we good on refills? Do you need some more Crown, bro?
I'll get a little bit more.
I need some of that wine. Yeah, man. We just gotta get just a little bit comfortable.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely. I mean? Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
For sure, man.
I'm glad y'all Crown Apple is one of my favorites.
Bro, Crown Apple, man, for the guests.
I never drink it straight, but this is a special occasion. Oh, thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
appreciate you, bro.
Hey, it's Ice Guy. What's going on, Ice Guy? Yeah.
Ice Guy. Yeah. Ice Guy's struggling.
Hold on, man. Let me get this wild, man. Nah, we're chilling.
Stick to making music, Mike.
Bro, no, that's crazy. but like I love ice.
Yeah. What kind of wine is that, man?
This right here, this is rattlesnake raspberry. This shit is fire, by the way.
Is it good?
No, this shit is dope.
Who got you that?
Mike brought it through. Mike brought that through, bro, and man, like that shit is it's
like
nice.
Or something. Where did you get it?
It's nice though.
Okay, like
that
a winery.
Shit is good.
Yeah, I'm a big red wine guy, so I might have to try it before
it's
I leave.
It's sweet too. Like nah, man, I'm fucking with this. So, and like this is like a question like I've wanted to ask, like just like photographers in general, man, because like I don't know, like how does one set themselves apart in photography? Like, because like if you have like two fire pictures, it's like they're both like great pictures, but like is it like a style thing? Like how do you like?
This might not make sense when I first say it, but I always bet on the jockey and not the horse.
Okay.
Horse being the photography or the business, the jockey being the owner and the operator. I think that it's more important to be a good person and to have good customer service and treat your customers correctly to win over them next time. Because I've had a handful of clients say, I chose you because of who you are, not just the photography. And even though our photography is good, there's competitors out there that put out the same product, but they like me. And so I think it's a lot of photographers. This is a really common issue in the photography world are cocky and very much like their work is the best and nobody's better. It's like a lot of artists in the world,
For sure, man. For sure.
And so I think that's a big mistake on a lot of their ends is being cocky. And I think there's a difference between cocky and confidence.
Yeah.
And so I stick to just being confident and reassuring my people and treating them right. I send them Christmas cards and Christmas texts and birthday texts and make sure that they feel like I'm not just working for them, but I'm also a friend, and I think that's got me really far is that customer service side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's what separates people more so than even the photography. Because think about if you're working with a photographer and you're doing family portraits and you got photographer A and you got photographer B and they're putting out the same product. If photographer A is an asshole and he's like,
here's your picture.
Here's this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like not a good person, then you're just going to be like, I don't want to work with that guy again, even if the photos are good. But if customer or photographer B is great and super nice and easy to work with and knows how to, handle the situation, like you're going to be more likely to hire them again.
Inclined,
so photography is not that difficult. It's just a science. It's down to knowing the settings and things like that. And having an eye for it obviously is important. But, I think being the person behind the camera is more important.
Nah, man, I 1000% agree with you. Like, and I feel like that can definitely get lost today with, people kind of just like with the whole cocky thing, man. Cause like, social media can definitely add to a lot of egos. Like, people, get a following, you know what I mean? But like, it just, kind of goes to their head a little bit. And it's just like, you okay, like, 30K, 40K followers is cool, but you're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not Andy Warhol out here, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, like that. People will always remember how you make them feel. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you're dealing with them. Like they're not gonna remember like they'll remember like, oh, his photos were dope. You know what I mean? But like they're definitely gonna like what's gonna
human interaction.
Yeah. That's what's gonna leave that impart on them. You feel me? So
100%. Yeah. The imprint you leave on somebody, it's more significant with your personality and who you are versus the work that you're putting out.
Yeah, 1000%.
Like I immediately was attracted to Mike's vibes because he was a cool fucking dude, and then I heard his music, and I was like,
it's like, oh, this is like a classic, bro.
And
like,
now he's even cooler,
bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know, like I heard
real shit.
I'll never forget. This was like I say I never forget. Like this was 10 years ago, but the other day when he hopped in my new car, we took a ride, and he showed me Wet Sign.
Test,
he showed me Wet Sign. Like before it came out, I was like, I feel blessed. Like I just heard the song before it even dropped.
Nah, I mean, bro, I mean, there's a rumor that West Side goes crazier than Teslas. Like, I mean, that's what I hear. Like,
that's what they say,
like,
man.
Nah, man, that's
pretty hard. I still jam it at least once a day. You know?
Nah, bro. Like, listen, man, Wet Sign's out there. Menace, of course, on all streaming sites. Go stream that right now. You feel me? Nah, man, that's dope. So like again, man, I agree with you, man. You definitely deal with the person rather than the content, and then you can get into where you get into. But so before, because like I definitely want to get into your app that like just dropped. Like we're coming out on the 1 year anniversary.
Man, you did crazy. Good all the research, man. You know what you're doing.
So like, what was the were there like any like initial hiccups when like you first like again, man, you're sitting in that Starbucks, like was it just like kind of like a streamline into real estate, into exposure it, or was there kind of like hitches?
Surprisingly, when I first started, there wasn't too many hiccups.
Okay,
it was just nonstop growth, and there was not time to think about any negative. I told you I'm very optimistic, so I try to just block out negativity. But when I merged with Luke, my business partner, there was a lot of hiccups because you have to adjust and figure things out. But now, I mean, there's hiccups every day. Like I'm not just an operator or a business owner. I'm a firefighter. Like I'm constantly putting out fires every day. Like today I had 3 texts from 3 different agents saying, "Hey, I need my pictures like right now. I'm trying to list."
Bro, I said, "Oh shit!" Like you actually were a firefighter.
And I wake up, I wake up and I'm like a little hungover, and I'm like, "Damn, man, I got to send these out right now." But it's just what it is, man. It's hiccups are gonna happen. I try not to focus too much on the bad parts. But I think that it's important to learn from them and not let them weigh on you. As a business owner, the best advice I can give is don't dwell on the negative parts of the business. Let them make you better.
Facts.
My girl's a business owner herself, and she's I wouldn't say fairly new, but she's dabbled in a lot of different businesses, and now she's going all in on her cleaning business. And she makes good money doing it, like $45 an hour, like cleaning houses.
Fire.
And I told she, initially, like when she first started, there was a lot of things that would come up with like somebody being unsatisfied or something like this. And I told her, don't get upset about it. In business, you have to be unemotional. You can't let emotions get in the way, because that's not what business is about. This isn't an intimate relationship. This is a business relationship. You have a relationship with your business, and it's like you gotta raise it correctly and show it a good time. You can't get upset with it and give up too quickly, because really what it comes down to is business is a game of who can hold their breath the longest. Because a lot of people quit right before they hit the peak and they're about to go over the hump, and if you just hold your breath and keep chugging along, you're gonna make it, man. That's
a bar, man. Who can hold their? That's some real shit, man. Like. Yeah, I mean, like, you're gonna go through some shit, bro. Like, you can't avoid it. Like, bro, you can't avoid
life.
it.
Like, we're humans. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's gonna happen,
Nah, for real, bro.
That's what it is, dude.
That's real shit. So, moving forward, man, the app, bro.
Yep.
Drop, man. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary, man. Like, what went into like getting that idea to come to life?
So it was actually my idea initially.
Okay.
So when I first created my business, I wanted a way to not only put out good product, to make sure that the customer's life is easy as possible on the other side of the business.
Fair,
So like when it came to booking appointments, when it came to communication and contacting them, and anything that had to do with them, I wanted to make sure that it was like simplified to the maximum.
Yeah.
And so I started researching apps just to like figure something out, and I came across this one. And this developer that made apps for a business like mine. And I was like, well, the app tells customers when we're going to be there and when we're going to show up. It tells we can communicate with customers through the app. We can actually see. So like say that you're on the way to or my employee's on the way to an appointment.
Yeah.
They'll slide and say I'm on the way, like Uber basically.
Fire. That's
and then
dope.
The agent can track them and see where they're going. So that way they don't have to call them and be like, where you at?
Constantly like,
So it makes it easier on both ends. And so for me, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I was like, this is an investment that's going to be long-term. It's what we need to do to separate ourselves from the rest of our competition. And really, I think it elevated our business 100%. Like, it took it from here to here.
Yeah, that's just
now
fun.
We have customers all the time that said, I love your app so much. That's why I chose you, because you have such an easy, streamlined, process.
Yeah.
And it's just simple from A to B, and then they all get their
Facts.
pictures the next day, so it just makes everything simplified. You know what I mean? So.
Damn, bro. I mean, how long did that take you to, like, kind of get that up and running? I mean, because, bro, like, that sounds like just some really, like, sleek, clean, like, that just, like, it's a very user-friendly experience, it sounds like. And, like, I mean, just a lot of, people that go into business and, like, make their own apps, there's a bit of clunkiness, there initially.
They're not willing to spend the money to make it right.
Okay,
that's usually what it comes down to. So I knew, like, this was going to take a big chunk out of our money, but I was willing to make
invest
more money
longer
because it was going to, make our business better.
Mm-hmm.
You got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing in business. So many people don't understand that. They're like, I'm going to just do this the cheapest way possible. And then they fall on their face and they're like, why did that happen?
Damn.
It's because they're not willing to put it out there, Like, you got to start somewhere. Obviously, not everybody has the cash flow to build an app their first day, as a business owner. But the problem that a lot of business owners make is they'll have the business going and they're like, oh, this is working. I'm just going to keep it how it is. They don't update their websites. They don't create new technologies. They don't do anything. They just say, this is working. I'm going to keep it. Well, guess what? Somebody like me is going to come around the corner and surpass you because I'm willing to spend the money to make my business better.
Facts. Real shit.
I'm going to upgrade it constantly. And so we're innovating constantly. Weekly meetings about innovation. How can we make this business better? What are we going to do whenever there's a Pokemon ball that you throw up in there and it goes around the house and takes pictures? How are we going to have jobs? You know what I mean? So, like, we think about all this stuff.
That's real shit though, man. Yeah.
We think 10 steps ahead at all times, man.
We just scan the whole,
like, is that not unrealistic at this point? Because I can see it. Or, what's going to happen whenever homes are in the metaverse and it doesn't matter where you're living.
Yeah, man. No,
when a millionaire is living in an apartment like this because the house in the metaverse is better.
Lit. Dummy lit. Like, you feel me?
So
just plug in, yo.
So how are we going to do that when the metaverse is the rest? So we think about all this stuff, and we're constantly doing things to just stay alive,
Yeah, bro.
Like, if you're not first, you're last, right?
Real shit. Shout out to Ricky Bobby, you feel me? Shout out to Ricky. But bro, like, just from even talking now, like, bro, your business acumen, it just sounds on point. Like, did you have to like, just like kind of like stumble along the path, like, like, have you burned your hand in business in order to like kind of learn these lessons?
Yeah, I've failed a few times in different businesses. I think the crazy part is I've never let it get to me.
Yeah,
I've always like, how could I have done that better? And then I go to the next one. I'm not afraid of it because, like I said, it's hard to breathe without it. Like, entrepreneurship is just like breathing air for me, so I have to do it,
I feel you.
And so to me, it was just a learning experience every time. And finally it worked and it clicked. And it was the first time, like I said, that I started something like that I knew was 100% going to work. It felt right.
Crazy.
It felt right with the skills that I had. It felt right with the vibe. Everything just aligned. Like, it was like an awakening. It was weird, man. But it was great.
I feel you, bro. So, just outside of photography, like, what are some of like your other favorite forms of art?
I really enjoy painting.
Okay.
Not the best at it, but I really like it.
I feel you.
I think it's just relaxing and peaceful, and really, dude, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but just photography, like, that is my life, man. Like, I respect it. I appreciate it. Any kind of like content creating is cool. But photography and videos, I think, are just interesting. Like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, I don't know when the first camera came out. I probably should know that, but whenever it did, before that, there was nothing to remember, something or have. Like,
Facts, right.
Like the fact that I can point a device at something and capture a memory is crazy. Like, just the idea of that technology is out of control.
Nah, for real.
It's really wild. And now we all have it in our pockets, It's just crazy to me, man.
Nah, man, bro, real shit.
It's beautiful,
Bro, just like, capturing
like,
like
we're filming this right now.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying.
And like, just imagine thinking about that 100 years ago. Like, I know that we're not that old, but just think about it. It's weird.
100 years ago, bro, like, this would probably set their heads on fire.
Absolutely.
You know bro, because like even podcasting is like still very in its, I don't want to say infancy, but like it's still like a fresh
for sure
thing, man. Like,
it is. It's new, and it's newer.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, and I love them. I love the idea that we can just sit down and talk about things and record it, and then look back on it for the rest of our lives. Like, that's awesome.
How many clients like do you like usually service in like a day or something like that? Like,
we do around like 20 to 25 appointments a day.
Golly, bro.
So about 25 houses.
Okay.
On a good day.
Yeah.
We've done as much as 30 in a day, but we're each photographer, including myself, we're doing about 5 or 6 a day.
Okay, dope.
So It's a lot, man.
How'd you go about like just finding your
Sure.
employees, like
Just
what was that
Indeed,
process
putting
like? Okay.
applications out there and seeing who bites. And
Okay.
every time we've put a job listing out there, we've gotten like 60, 70 applications sent in and interviewed maybe like 5% of those people.
Okay.
Just based off of their experience and stuff like that. And the way I decide to hire somebody is usually just their personality. I don't care if they went to school or did any of that. Like, you got to be a hardworking, driven person.
No, I agree.
And if you're that, then I can make it work. I can figure out how to make you into a grinder. And so that's kind of what it is for me. Like, hiring people is as simple as just liking them.
Yeah.
Like vibing with them. That's it.
No, bro. Like I definitely feel that.
And it's also about like, I'm a big believer in hire fast, fire fast.
Okay.
Don't take too much time to figure out if somebody's going to be great, because you're never going to know until they start working for you.
Yeah, right.
And if they start working for you and they suck, then let them go and move on to the next one.
Yeah, right.
And I've had to do that. It sucks, but it's what it is.
Nah, real shit.
It really sucks, man. I hate firing people.
Yeah, no, bro. I've definitely
sad,
I've been on the receiving end of like those calls. I'm like, bro, like I haven't been like, yo, like you're so bad at your job, like get out. But like it's just like the company was moving in like a different direction, or just like.
I usually just tell them how to do better.
Okay.
Here's what you need to do to do better at any job in life. I will
give it to
recommend
'em.
you to the next job when they call me. I won't tell them that that we fired you, but I highly recommend you start trying some of these things. Usually it comes down to attitude, really.
Yeah.
The person's mentality. Like, if it's shitty, I'm like, get out of here, you're a bad apple. You got to go.
Damn. Like, has anyone like taken it like wrong? Like have you had some just like people like, yo, fuck you, man?
I've had crying and sad, yeah, and
crying,
just all types of, you deal with problems, man. But really, at the end of the day, you just gotta. It's part of being a business owner.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got a fucking business.
You don't go home
man.
and you're
like,
not laughing about it. It's fucking
no facts.
Like, after we fired our first first employee, I was like, Luke, we got to go to the bar, man. I got to get drunk.
Yeah, bro, yeah, because that was rough. Like,
we went there, we bought a couple shots in 1942. We just we're like, let's just get lit tonight, because I was upset about it. It's not like I wanted to do that.
No facts.
It was really hurtful for me too, because I like the person a lot as a person.
And then it's like someone's livelihood.
But
like on the
they
end
were
of
bad
it.
for the business, and that's why I had to let them go.
Yeah,
and I let her know that. I let her know, like, this isn't working out, because this is not personal. This is a business decision.
Nah, for sure.
Simply is that, So, yeah. Anyways.
Nah. Like, what do you, just like, throughout the course of like, building this business and like, just doing the things that you do, like, what do you think is like the biggest misconception about working for yourself, being your own CEO? Like, this shit is not all daisies, bro, obviously.
Yeah. I would say that it's not easy, and it's never going to be easy. A lot of people think that the more your business grows and the more successful you become, that you're going to be able to just go to Cabo and sit on the beach and relax.
Yeah.
Like, that's not true. You're going to work more.
Yeah.
The bigger you grow, and you're going to take financial sacrifices too, like, or hits, because like every time I hire somebody, I'm taking money out and paying somebody. So like it's like you said, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's tough out here, and if you're not willing to do it, then you shouldn't do it. Work for somebody else.
Yeah,
that's my advice, because it's hard. And if you got to be able to just like accept that and be like, I know that this is gonna be hard for the rest of my life, but it's better than working for somebody else.
Real shit.
Simple as that.
Nah, I feel that though, bro. So, what are some of like your favorite projects, like clients that you've worked with, like that come to mind?
I can't say who my favorite client is, because they'll probably see this video.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but favorite project was I shot a $10 million listing out in Swickley Heights.
Damn.
It belonged to a famous person. I can't say their name because I signed a non-disclosure about it, but it was incredible, man. We did photos, video. I was with my partner on that job, and dude, like, walking in this house, it was just like, man,
10
goals,
million. Yeah,
goals.
Bro, 10
like,
million.
Like, how do people make this kind of money? You know? But it was humbling too, because it also made me realize there's a ton of rooms in this house that these people don't use. Do I really need all this? So it's like a double-edged sword there. It's like, I love it, but I don't. Do I really? Walking into big houses a lot, it actually makes you realize you don't need that much.
Facts.
Driving nice car. Money doesn't buy happiness.
Nah.
There's a ton of miserable people out there that make a lot of money.
For sure.
You got to just figure out.
A ton of cornballs with money, too, that think that money going to, like, make them, dope or cool. They're like, nah, man.
No, trust me. You ain't going to get any more girls, and if you do, you're paying for them.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way, man. It's money money is a distraction. It's just like a mirage. People like, it's so sad to see so many people be like, oh my God, like if I make all this money, like my life's going to change. Like you have to understand, like you're always going to be you, you know, you're never going to change as a human being. You're always going to be the same person that you are. So money's not going to change that. You know, you can't physically maybe, but not emotionally. Like you're the same person, you know? So I think money is important to have. I'm not saying it doesn't make life easier, but it also doesn't make life any happier.
Facts.
Does that make sense?
No, for sure. And bro, like I know, like when you were early in the business, like you, again, like you were just like, you know, taking photos of like your apartment and just like, you know, kind of getting like, you know, feedback from that shit. Like, what's like how have you grown as a photographer since then? Do you feel like?
Like it's been like a 180. Like completely different. My perspective on everything was so different back then, and I was just trying to like figure it out, you know, and I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. I was just kind of like sending it, and I think what helped me is I never like took bad criticism wrong. I always just kind of like let it teach me how to be better.
Yeah.
You know? I actually had a really weird moment where it was my second job as a real estate photographer. Second person that hired me. He happens to be one of my biggest customers still to this day. And I took the photos of the house, and he called me the next day and he goes, Zach, these photos are terrible.
Damn.
And like I had a moment where I was sitting there and I was like, I can either get really upset about this or hear him out. What are you gonna do? You know, and it was like kind of like a crossroad that was hard to choose.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, like that hurts. You know. I said, what could I do better next time? Like in my sales guy Zach kicked in, and I was like, what could I do better next time? Because if I say that means he'll hire me again, and I'll fix it. I'm not gonna say, oh well, this is what it is. I'm sorry you don't like him, because then he'll never hire me again. So I said, what could I do better? And he goes, well, the windows are blown out, this, that, and another. And I was like, okay, I'll fix it next time. And I stayed up 2 nights in a row till 3 a.m. and figured it out. Why are the pictures looking this way? You know, how do I fix it? You know? And so I think it's important just to learn from the mistakes that you make and not let them get to your head too much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the original question.
Oh, nah, bro. I was just
Crown apple's kicking in good.
Nah, bro, nah, you're all good. I was just, you know, asking like, you know, how, like, what's your favorite way that like you've grown as a photographer since the days of, like, you know, just like, you know, posting your, you know, just like photos of your apartment on.
Yeah, no, it's
IG.
I've grown a lot, you know, and I think that it's hard to put into words.
Yeah, no.
So like while I'm rambling, because I don't even know. It's just like I look at it and it's humbling just sitting here hearing you say that.
Nah,
like,
bro,
shit,
that's
I never
just
even really
fire.
thought about that.
Yeah, nah, bro, nah. This is dope. So like, do you still have the first camera that you got?
It's sitting on my desk.
For real?
Display. Yep.
You still use it or no?
No, it's retired.
Oh, okay,
I retired that camera.
Yeah.
But no, I still shoot with a similar camera now.
Okay.
It's just what I'm comfortable with.
I feel you.
But the original one's sitting in my office on my desk, and actually it's like on a bookshelf or something. And it just reminds me of where I started. You know, It's a cool little pendant to have.
Did you ever plan to like I guess like not branch out from photography, because like that's like the main obviously nucleus of your business, but just like I don't know, just like different subject matter, like, you know, like you try like, you know, maybe concerts, like, you know, shit like that. Like, I don't know like how fond you are of that.
I think it would be really cool in retrospect, but I think that it's not gonna satisfy me as much as what I do now.
I feel you.
I really like working with other business owners.
Okay.
I think that's what keeps me sucked in.
Yeah.
But we are working on something big right now. I don't know if I've publicly said this, but we're expanding our business to other cities here in the next few months.
Dope.
We're gonna try to hit every major city in the United States and turn this into the biggest real estate media company in the United States. That is the goal, and I will do it 100%.
Where do you see exposure in like 5 years?
Everywhere. Like driving down the street, you're gonna see it on a billboard. It's gonna be the biggest real estate media company in the entire world. I guarantee. I will make it happen. I won't stop working until I do. You know. So even if it takes 15 years, 20 years, 80 years, I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
I feel that, bro.
So I'm super excited about it. But you know, this is just the beginning, man. This is a small little thing that I'm doing right now. It's gonna be so much bigger, and I want it to be bigger than myself, because like what is the point of doing it all just to like do the same thing every day? I want to switch it up. You know, I have ADHD. I get bored. You know, so
quick. Yeah, I gotta find something.
I gotta find something to do.
Just
differently.
keep those juices like you know going, man.
Yeah, just something to look forward to. You know, constantly. So that's kind of where I see it going. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, as far as it can get.
Nah, bro.
And if it doesn't, I'm totally cool with that. But I'm gonna look forward to it. You know what I mean?
Bro, Zach. I mean, it's been such. Yeah.
Yeah, Savannah, Georgia is actually. I don't know if you know where Savannah's at, but Savannah, Georgia is like a little beach town.
Okay.
In Georgia. My brother is in the military and he's based there.
Okay.
There's no specific reason we're doing it there. It's just a really hot real estate market, so we're gonna hit there.
Yeah.
Probably a couple cities in Pennsylvania. We're thinking Philadelphia, probably Harrisburg, and we're just gonna keep growing from there. We're gonna test the waters and see how it is, because we're gonna run into hiccups, like you said, along the way. And so you never want to. A lot of business owners' problem is they're not patient enough, and they're not willing to just like figure it out. You know, a lot of people just want to jump into and open a thing in every city like right away, but that's just gonna overload you with work. Burnout. Yeah. So I'm willing to just play the game, and I love the process of this entire thing. It's not about the end goal. It's just everything in between now and then. You know. So.
No, bro. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, so Zach, bro, like, I want to thank you so much for coming through, bro.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I definitely want to ask, you know, before we get you out of here, bro, the fucking big body Tessie, man. The big body red.
I'm not a flexer, man. I'm not a flexer. I'm wearing Walmart clothes right now, man.
You feel me? How is it walking on the lot? Yo, I want the red one. Give me the red one.
You know, funny story, man. I was just driving past it one day with my girl, and I said, I want to stop. We were like in our pajamas.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to stop there and just like test drive one.
Yeah.
And so I did, and I was like, I got to get this car.
That shit is
I said,
fire.
where do I sign?
Yeah, that shit is fire,
It
right?
took 4 months to get it. It took a long time to come in, but when I got it, I was like, this. And I didn't even buy the car because it's cool as shit. I mean, I love the car because it's cool as shit.
Facts.
But I didn't buy it because of that. I bought it because I drive 3,000 miles a month for my job. And gas, I was spending like $850 in gas a month.
That's fair.
I was like, I can charge this thing at home and spend $80 a month in electricity
instead
of $850 in gas.
Man, electric cars are about to be like they're about
you
to be.
See it happen,
yeah, that's
man.
what I'm saying, bro. Like they're about to, you know.
It's an incredible experience, man. Just it's a different level, and you know, I'll never be like I'm not a materialistic kind of guy at all.
Facts.
I buy things because they make sense. Like I bought that Tesla because it financially made sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't buy it because it's dope. Even though now I haven't, I'm like, I feel like I'm cool as shit.
Driving
down the street in it.
Dope, yeah.
But I bought it because it financially made sense, and it's a good car, and it's gonna last me for a long time. Dope. So.
My man, so Zach, I mean, again, if you want to plug anything of like events coming up, just, you know, what you do, just, you know, where they can find you on socials, where they can find the app. This is your time, man. You know, you have the floor, bro.
Yeah. You know, anybody that might be a real estate agent watching this, contact us and use us for whatever you need. We do photography, we do videos, we do 3D tours, we do the whole 9. Like I said, we're the biggest and continuing to be the biggest real estate photography / media company in Pittsburgh. So, if you don't know my name by now, my name is Zach Alden-Brown. The company that we own is Exposure Real Estate Media. You can Google us. Instagram handles @exposure_it. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate you having me on here.
Sure, man. Nah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming through, man. You heard the man, Zach Alden-Brown, in the building, man. MIC Podcast, episode 56, man. Community content, bro. You get it all here, man. And we're out, bro.
Cheers.
Peace.